everybody. Welcome to Rachel's Reviews. We are the Hidden Gems podcast, and this is kind of a little extra to the episode that is airing today that is Hidden Gems on HBO Max, because we recorded it on Monday, and then it just seemed like 2020 happened and our podcast felt out of date already. And so we wanted to talk about something that we found out about with HBO Max. And I'm film critic Rachel Wagner, and Ryan is here.
Hey, Rachel, and let me do this in my Mortal Kombat voice, because we are delivering our fine folks some bonus content.
Sorry. Yes. So basically what ended up happening is they released HBO Max, and we were very impressed with the lineup, with everything they had, and then it just seems like there's been one problem after another. It started out, they had it not available on Amazon Fire and Roku, which was a big problem for a lot of subscribers who want to, like, if you want to actually watch the HBO Max on your television, that's basically impossible right now. And you have you can watch it on your computer, but not through the normal access to your television.
I can speak from personal experience. I was speaking to my dad the other night, and I was talking to him about HBO Max, and he said, where is it on our TV? Because he has an OLED 4K LG smart TV, and that's where I watch a lot of my Netflix and Amazon and such.
Yeah.
And I was talking to him about it, and I said, "Oh, well, they haven't inked a deal with any of the LG or any of those people yet." And he's like, "Well, then I ain't getting it." And I'm like, "Okay, that's a tad strong, but I see where he's coming from." It's like, it's gonna get to the point where, like, I really don't want to watch like the original Godzilla on my cell phone. Like I want to watch it on my TV, but it's like they forgot that step, apparently.
I know, it's bad enough that all the movie theaters are closed. We're we're forced to watch these many times epic films on at best our laptops, which can buffer and cause problems and be a pain in the neck. So it's bad. It's a problem.
Yeah, I love my iPad to death, but I would not watch something like, I don't know, Lord of the Rings on it or something. Like, no. Like, some movies are meant to be watched on the biggest screen that you could possibly find.
Yeah, exactly. So that was the first mess that they had, and they were already kind of fighting a bit of an uphill battle when it comes to content, because they had very little original content. We were very impressed with the curated content, but the original content was definitely lacking.
All we really got was the Looney Tunes show, which I've heard good things about, and I will get to eventually. We got this romantic comedy show with Anna Kendrick, which I like Anna Kendrick, but I'm not sure I want to go out of my way to see that. But other than that, I can't really think of anything. At least when Netflix started up their streaming service, they were like, "Oh, we've got Longmire and House of Cards and a bunch of these other shows." And I don't know about Longmire, but House of Cards turned out to be a pretty big deal for a while. So it just seems really weird.
And with Disney Plus, they had
the Mandalorian, on launch day. That's why I got it, because I'm like, Mandalorian on launch day, sign me up for that. And of course they had High School, the musical, the series, and a bunch of other things, not to mention the library, the endless library that Disney has and had over the years.
yeah, the
Go
world
ahead.
according to, sorry, they had the world according to Jeff Goldblum, and they had
World
uh
according to Jeff Goldblum, right?
yeah, they had quite a bit of new original content. And but obviously the big one was the Mandalorian, the big draw, the big appeal, because they had like Noel, they had Togo, they had a bunch of different stuff. And I just, yeah, it's bizarre that they wouldn't have come up with more. I mean, I understand it's kind of weird in this time of COVID and everything, but like, uh, they didn't really have any big ticket except for if you're an animation fan, to be able to watch the Looney Tunes cartoons. That I feel like that's the only big ticket new show that they offered.
Yeah, really. It's like I if I would have them, I if I were working there, I would be suggesting like let's try and get like a Lord of the Rings series off the ground, like the
Hmm.
Similarian like books, like
Yeah, but
adaptation,
Amazon's
or
doing that.
oh yeah, that's
Hmm.
right. But like something like that.
Hmm.
I looked it up, and I looked up how much stuff that Warner Media owns, and it's like, guys, like, do you know how much stuff you literally
Hmm.
have at your fingertips? Like, come on, people.
Hmm.
Like,
Yeah, like if they had a DC property show or a Harry Potter property show, that would have been huge.
yeah, and DC, and oh, we'll get to that. Don't you worry. But yeah, HBO. Harry Potter is still a pretty big draw. If they like had something like that, that would be huge. That would go over huge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like what if they had like the, I don't know, the Muggle Adventures or something like that, and it was like a mystery show in London with like a Muggle amongst the Muggles. There was like a mystery show, something like that. That would be huge.
Or like the Tales of Beetle the Bard or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, get the bad taste of Crimes of Grindelwald off of everybody's mouths, and
Right. Yeah.
they could. Uh, and so then we get to the all of it. I was like, okay, because I mean, to be fair, all of the streaming services have had their issues and their launch problems, and some people might claim that Disney Plus, it was only The Mandalorian, and they certainly have had a problem with Disney Plus. Has certainly had a problem of not being able to keep up content, that they haven't hardly had anything new in the last 6 months, just a few little things. And they're going to put out Artemis Fowl today, that this the day this airs. They're going to put that out, and but that's how big of a draw is that. And so they've had a problem with upkeep with Disney Plus. But the thing about Disney Plus is they didn't have all of their library available upon release, and they still don't because of contracts with Netflix and other places. And they've had hiccups like with promising the Lizzie McGuire update, and then all of that problems, and the Love Simon problems, and some of the other stuff that ended up going to Hulu, and or getting canceled. So they've had their hiccups, Disney Plus, but I feel like they've been way more on top of the problems. That they, like, we knew going into getting a subscription to Disney Plus that we weren't going to have certain things available on Disney Plus. We knew
Right.
that there was going to be certain stuff that was still on Netflix, and so I feel like it was a lot more clear. And so for with what's happened with HBO Max is that they ran with big advertisements for DC properties. You had literally Wonder Woman front and center in the advertising, like literally in the center. And so you have her, and they just announced that Wonder Woman and Batman v Superman and Justice League, all three movies with Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman are all going to be gone the 1st of July, which is just crazy to me.
That is just I had to read the article twice, like, just to make sure I read that correct, because I'm sitting here like, it's Wonder Woman, like, you're getting rid of it in the first month. Like, good lord, it's pretty when I heard they were getting rid of stuff like The Hobbit, I'm like, okay, I guess they can bring it back. But then I read about all the DC stuff, and I'm like, that's like one of the centerpieces of the whole thing. You might as well just
Yeah.
get rid of, like, I don't know, the uh, get rid of Game of Thrones or something, because
Yeah.
it makes no sense.
And they say that they are bringing Aquaman, Shazam, Joker, Green Lantern, and Supergirl to replace. So it's supposedly this like rotation or something. But I mean, I don't think that. I mean, I know that Joker and Shazam have their fans, but I don't think that to get rid of all of the Wonder Woman movies in one fell swoop is crazy to me. Like I said, I just feel I feel sort of bait and switched, that they literally led with her in the advertising that she was going to be a part of this, and for her, all three of her movies to be gone is crazy. And the idea that anyone in the world is like, oh well, they're giving us Green Lantern and Supergirl, so that's all right. What?
Yeah, Green Lantern with some of the worst CGI I've ever seen in my life. And
Yeah.
is this Supergirl the TV show or the movie with Peter
The
O'Toole?
movie, I think.
Oh God! Like, what are they thinking? Like, that movie's horrible.
Yeah.
Like, Peter O'Toole went from Lawrence of Arabia to being like, "Look up there. That is what keeps us alive." It's like, Peter, what are you doing? But that's my Supergirl rant aside.
Yeah,
But it
I
just
mean,
makes no sense, because it's
no.
like you're getting rid of the actual good stuff and questionable stuff at best, and you're replacing it with even worse stuff. Like, it's just crazy.
It's crazy. And I mean, Green Lantern, it's like I mean, it's a joke.
Like
It's one of
Batman v
the
Superman has a lot of problems. I would watch that 10 times over rather than watch Green Lantern ever again.
agreed. Agreed. And in our Hidden Gems episode, uh one of my picks is already gone. It's not even July 1st. It's already gone from Monday when we recorded. Is Teen Titans Go to the Movies. It's gone.
That's gone?
It's
Wow,
gone.
that's a mistake, because like Teen Titans Go to the movies is like made for like families,
Yeah.
and it's like golden sand slipping through their fingers.
And the Lego movies are all leaving.
So
And
my list is out of date. So both our lists are out of date.
it's crazy. I mean, that's another one that they had pretty front and center in the advertising. You had those Lego characters, and they're gone. And I realized that all the streaming services, they filter things in and out, but I feel like it's not an unfair expectation to have expected Wonder Woman at least through the summer. That seems crazy to me, that July 1st, after just barely launching, that something that big would just be gone. It seems just crazy to me. It's almost to me like as if Disney Disney Plus like got rid of the Mandalorian in the month after, like in December, after they
Right.
they
And
launched in November.
right. And you know what's coming out in August? Wonder Woman 1984.
Yeah,
And they're getting rid of the three movies with Wonder Woman in it. It's like,
so
it's so
bizarre.
dumb, because it's like free advertisement, almost free, but
Yeah,
somewhat free advertisement.
yeah. So It is very strange. I don't understand what they were thinking. They're getting rid of July 1st, Justice League, Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, Wonder Woman, Suicide Squad, Batman Returns, Batman Forever, Batman and Robin, Catwoman, Jonah Hex, and The Losers, all gone. Obviously, some of those nobody cares about Catwoman, but
Jonah Hex. Ugh.
but still, I don't know. I think it has been a royally botched launch. And it's a shame because I think there's so much good there, but because of the way that they've marketed it, like I don't feel like they have really marketed the Studio Ghibli stuff. I don't feel like they have really marketed the TCM stuff. I don't feel like the Criterion stuff. Like I don't think that's what they've led with. And they've led with DC, they've led with Lego, they've led with all of this, and so then so it feels even worse. It feels like, well, the good stuff that they have hasn't been promoted, so people don't know the good stuff, and so it's just a mess.
Yeah, I did a deep dive on the back catalog side of things, and I discovered stuff I never thought would be on that service, like Whose Line Is It Anyway? Like the American version from the
Hmm.
early '90s. I love that show. I watched it all the time. I watched the highlights of it on YouTube, and it's on there. The original Tom and Jerry is on there, which I kind of expected, but was still surprised to see. But it's like they don't promote any of it. They promote like, oh, we've got like all of the old series and a bunch of old movies, but like you said, no TCM, no Criterion. And
Hmm.
if you want if you want to set yourself apart, you got to make yourself like look different.
Hmm.
So like say, hey, we are the home of over 100 of some of the greatest movies of all time from the Criterion collection, like
Yeah.
the top tier of like movie collectors, and or something something better than what I
Yeah.
just did, but I'm sure you understand my
Yeah,
point.
no, and then they also, to boot, they're temporarily getting rid of Gone with the Wind, and that came out the same week. So even their classics kind of have a little bit of a questionable sort of feel right now with people, that they're going to take it and they're going to add some kind of warning in front of it or something of that nature. And so even that kind of isn't in their favor right now. I just think it has been a really botched launch. It is not what what I mean, it makes me kind of all the more sure of why they announced the the Snyder cut when they did, because they knew they had these problems coming up,
Yeah,
so they wanted to get people on their side.
it's like the old saying goes, when someone ends up with egg on their face, HBO right now has a whole dang omelet on their face.
Yeah, they do. They really do. Well, yeah, it's disappointing. So, let us know if you're listening. Are you disappointed, or are we blowing this out of proportion? What is your opinion about this HBO Max as a business venture? How have they done? How have they launched it? I still think there is much value, but if I'm just looking at it as a business, I think it's been pretty badly done. And so we'll see how they bounce back from that. I'm sure they'll be fine in the end, but it's a puzzler.
Yeah, and one last thing, Rachel, before we get out of here. I know that this whole podcast is based on the back of recommending stuff on streaming services. I do enjoy all the streaming services I have. I still love Netflix, I still love Amazon, I still have HBO and Disney Plus and etc. But if any of you are interested in any of the classic movies that are on HBO and maybe worried that they might go away, get them on physical media, because physical media, at least for the time being, ain't going away anytime soon. So
Yeah.
I was in Walmart the other day. I saw Gone with the Wind for on Blu-ray for $7. So if you're
Yeah.
interested, here's your chance.
Right.
And and I'll say this: physical media will not, at least won't, you won't have to worry about it leaving a streaming service anytime soon. You just have to walk over to your shelf like I do. But
Right.
anyway, I shall descend from my physical media soapbox, and let's close this
Yes.
out.
Right. No, I agree. And you can certainly get some of the high quality collectors editions as well that will really be something special for your collection. And so yeah, no, it's a good point. So, all right. Well, Ryan, where can people find you?
You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd at RyanCam20. Also on my YouTube channel, Ryan Cam Movie Reviews. Still working diligently on the AFI project. Uh, I'm actually going to be shooting and editing all of the videos for the general and on the waterfront when Rachel and I depart from this call, and I'm going to be pushing those out for sometime next week. And I'm also going to be preparing for Nolan month. I'm going to be reviewing all of Christopher Nolan's movies in honor of Tenet coming out in theaters. So it's a really big time to be a part of the channel. So if you want to go ahead and subscribe, like, now's as good a time as any.
Yes, you definitely should. And you can find me at Rachel's Reviews, all of our social media, iTunes, YouTube, and on Rotten Tomatoes. So check that out. And you can find me at the Hallmarkies podcast. So that's a lot of fun as well. So thanks so much. It was fun to talk about. And yeah, good luck to everybody with HBO Max.
May the odds be ever in your favor.
That's right. Bye, everyone.